Welcome to a special edition of Business Mentorship Keepin It Real, where we're collaborating with the Enthuse Foundation, who supports female entrepreneurs through education, mentorship, and grant funding. Today, our guest is one of the finalists in the 2023 pitch competition. Alexandra Baker is an award-winning TV personality and host on the Home Shopping Network, who is the founder of In the Kitchen with Alexandra. We're going to discuss her journey into entrepreneurship and how she has created a business that shares her family's recipe. Congratulations, Alexandra, on becoming a finalist in this year's Enthuse Foundation pitch competition. You must be thrilled.
I am very thrilled. I'm honored, actually. I was completely surprised. I had applied like everyone else, and I almost fell off the chair when I received the phone call. I'm really excited to meet the other finalists, and we all have that sisterhood of walking in this space together, of being founder of a startup.
Yeah, for sure. Now, why don't we start with you sharing your great idea and why you decided to create a personal brand sharing your family recipe?
Well, for the last 9.5 years, I have been an on-air guest host. A guest host means that we are the brand ambassadors with the Home Shopping Network, HSN, and representing many beautiful brands that are available here at work. Every holiday season, I would make and gift something called pickles, P-I-K-L-I-Z, and pickles, Haitian cuisine condiment. I grew up in a Haitian household. Both of my parents are from Haiti. I was born here, but both of my parents are from Haiti, and we always had pickles in the house. This condiment would be used on meats, fish, soups, stews, plant-based burgers, you name it, and it's a flavor enhancer and meal perfecter, and it's just delicious. And I really, frankly, perfected the recipe, and because I'm in a space of working with other entrepreneurs who are constantly going on air and sharing their items, really got me thinking, I think that others would really enjoy this particular content, because the feedback was just, people said, oh my God, the flavor. It's all about the flavor. And so prior to the pandemic, I actually had been working on bringing this to market. We came out with our second, now we have our third item that's about to launch as well. And so that was the genesis. ASN was actually the genesis of the brand. That's where the inspiration came from. And now we're looking at making even items fall under In the Kitchen with Alexandra.
Oh, that sounds so fantastic. And I love that you're marrying, a family recipe that you've kind of tweaked a little bit here and there and taking that to market, because your family must be so proud of what you're doing.
They're very excited. We did not invent pickles. Pickles, every nationality. You think German have sauerkraut. In Israel, we have there's something called shrod. I have found over the years that almost every nationality has some type of pickled slaw, pickled carrots, even kimchi, which is fermented vegetables, and pickles is also fermented. So everyone has something like that. So in Haiti, it is called pickles. And it's not just a family recipe. We definitely had it in the house all the time, either my aunt or somebody bring it. But I started making it and tweaking the recipe ever so slightly. And then our co-packer suggested that we puree it. So it's not just loose vegetable, it's actually pureed. And so you get the pickles, spicy pepper relish. But then we also this was, of all people, my husband's idea to come out with a pickles infused hot honey. He wanted this on his pizza.
Oh, cool.
And this has been a runaway hit. You can put it on ice cream, vanilla ice cream. You can put it on New York cheesecake. You can put it obviously on pizza, and waffles. You can put it just on everything. So everybody's fallen in love with these. And then we have a hot sauce that's coming out as well.
Oh, that sounds so fantastic. Now, for our viewing and listening audience who's listening to your story and thinking, wow, that's really a great idea. How did you actually go to market? Because it's one thing to have the idea. It's one thing to get the packaging done. You put a website up, but now we have to connect with the consumer. So right. What was your strategy to connect with the consumer and go to market with a product?
Well, we definitely have a Shopify website. I highly recommend Shopify as a platform. My most favorite brands that I purchased from, their platform was on Shopify. So I recommend a Shopify website and theme to go with. Then I knew we needed to be on Amazon, because Amazon is really an important point of discovery for people finding new items like condiments and ethnically, globally ethnic foods. People are very curious and eager to try diversified foods and diversify their pantries. And so Amazon was the next place that we knew we wanted to be on their platform, and we're now launchpad sellers, so they see something in us that is good and has the possibility of becoming bigger when I'm part of their launchpad program. So that was helpful. Other online marketplaces, and there are some regional, some actual stores like Whole Foods, that's national obviously, but starting in our backyard. And with Whole Foods and with the Fresh Market, we'll be in a handful of stores there. And of course, where it all started, here at the Home Shopping Network. I'm actually in my green room. Yay, it says HSN right there. And I had a show this morning. And so we will be on HSN by the end of the year. Just goodness, waiting for everything to come in. And we will launch on television shopping. So we're very excited about that.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Now, as an entrepreneur, what would you say has been your biggest challenge? So what has been the biggest obstacle or the biggest challenge you've had to try to overcome?
You know, initially you think you just need money. You think that money is going to be the only thing that you need. And you do need money. Every single thing costs money. The Shopify costs money. Shipping, having product made costs money. We did a Kickstarter campaign. And so the Kickstarter is how we were able to launch our, get our initial batch of product made with the co-packer. And then, but everybody thinks it's just money, but you also need education. And so you need to figure out, like, what are the steps? And now more than ever, you'll find organizations like the Enthuse Foundation and other organizations that really say, okay, this is step one, this is step two. Whether it's help with legal advice, setting up your corporation or your S Corp, answering legal questions about maybe registering the name In the Kitchen with Alexandra's registered, Alexandra's Pickles is registered, going from trademark to registered, and then learning how to do your finances and learning how to set up a strategic plan. It doesn't come overnight, but if you're willing to be a student. Our daughter is a freshman in college, and I feel like I'm a student too. My husband and I are learning every step of the way.
Yeah, that's so true. Now, I love your reference to learning because, I've been an entrepreneur for 30 years and I'm still learning something new every day. It really never stops. Have you ever had a
business
mentor? Yeah, for sure. Absolutely. The platforms change. I mean, everything changes, right? Is there ever been anyone that you sort of looked up to, or maybe somebody who's helped you practically along the way as a mentor?
You must have a mentor. You have to align yourself with those who have gone before you. And if they have not gone before you specifically in the journey that you are doing, also find mentors that maybe are great strategic thinkers or are really good at finance, or they're very good at being able to guide you through a path. So by all means, have a mentor. That's very important. And they just keep you focused. I've been of an accelerator program too. Accelerators are programs where you're in a cohort with maybe half a dozen or a dozen individuals who are on the same journey and want to learn how to do this business of being an entrepreneur or being the startup, the founder of a startup. Highly recommend those programs and mentors.
And I love your reference to the fact that, you would try to find a mentor who has a skill that maybe you don't have.
That's correct. Yes.
Because we can't have everything. We can't know everything, right?
Not to be good at everything. So know what your lane, and I'm very creative. I'm great with coming up with product. I'm great at executing those products, actually seeing the journey through and getting it, made into something that's tangible in your hand. But then from there, you need somebody to say, that's good, but now we actually have to market this. We actually have to, there are a lot of questions that you need answers to, and your mentors will help you with that. I feel like the lights are just going crazy in here, but that's unavoidable. As long as you can see me in here.
Well, listen, you are just right off your show, right? So there's I'm sure there's lots of activity happening in your little studio there. Now, how
Exactly.
did you hear about the Enthuse Foundation? Because they're really doing remarkable work, and they, like you, have not been in the sort of business of helping female entrepreneurs for that long. So, give us a little bit of an idea as to how you made that connection.
Frankly, they have been a godsend because I am on their website. I just love watching the other entrepreneurs that are part of the organization. I have learned from reading about them, learning stories, continuing my own research about some of the women who have excelled within the foundation. And so I've learned so much just from admiring from afar their entrepreneurs. And then, of course, they are a wealth of resources, webinars that will actually teach and give information. You know, you sit on these webinars and you're thinking, what am I learning right now? But over time, you realize this led to this. It's important. I believe Enthuse you have seen in the Kitchen with Alexandra on Instagram, and I was invited to participate in their pitch competition last year, and then I also really worked hard on the pitch deck. I remember the pitch deck that I had last year compared to the pitch deck I have this year. I mean, it's just such a journey. So that the connection was, I believe, through Instagram originally, and now Enthuse has just been incredible throughout the year.
So let's talk a little bit about the pitch deck. So for those in our viewing and listening audience who may be also interested in applying for a grant, I mean, I know each grant asks for different information, but to your point, a pitch deck can be something that you can cross a lot of boundaries with, right? Like you can connect with a lot of different organizations with your pitch deck. So perhaps you can give us a little bit of an indication as to what you think was important to put in that document.
Well, the pitch deck, for lack of a better, it's similar to a PowerPoint presentation. It's where you're going to tell the story of your company, the products and the company. So you'll start from the title page all the way to the end. It talks about who you are, what is the product, what is the problem in the marketplace, and how is your product solving that problem.
Right.
When I first started sharing my pickles, I just assumed that there were other, because Haitian is it's a Haitian item, a Haitian condiment, and I just assumed that I would go to the store and find other Haitian. I am in South Florida, right? I'm in Fort Lauderdale. Not one jar of pickles or any other Haitian products could be found on the shelves. And I'd never dawned on me before. And I don't know if it's because pickles it's one of those items that kind of make it home. It's kind of a cottage industry type of item, but not one jar. There were a handful on Amazon, but not the kind of pickles that I would expect to see at maybe a Whole Foods or a Wegmans or a Fresh Market, of that ilk. And so I saw a white space, and this is all terminology that I have learned in the last couple of years, but I had stumbled upon the white space, the blank area in the marketplace, $200 billion table sauces and condiments market that did not have premium, real, zero preservatives, all natural pickles or other Haitian condiments in the marketplace. So I talk about how I stumbled upon the problem. We are the solution. And then furthermore, I found out that not only are we a flavor enhancer and meal perfecter, but we add zest to blend foods, diversify your pantry. For the person that is very fastidious about what they're putting in their body and wanting something that is good for them, it's fermented. It's great for your gut microbiome. It rubs up your metabolism. It's great for your heart health. It's loaded with antioxidants. And so I think, wow, we really have a collection here that people are going to want to sample, taste. They're going to fall in love with the flavor. And we get to in some beautiful light, additional beautiful light, and really share that cultural mix of flavor. And we season foods, and it just tastes so good. And I can share a little bit of my Haitian culture and heritage with others.
You know what's really wonderful is your passion comes out when you're talking about your story. And I think that's really important because one of the things that we do when we're making B2B and B2C connections is sharing that passion, sharing the energy. You know, what fuels us to get up in the morning and continue to do what we're doing? Because, you've been very honest and you've shared with us, it's not for the faint of heart. Doesn't happen overnight. Success takes time. You have to work hard at it. You have to collaborate with various different people, but you have to keep the passion, because the passion is what fuels the energy to keep you going, right?
It really is. And I also want to say, I didn't graduate from school yesterday. I'm definitely a lady over 40, a lady over 50. And you are constantly around young people who are, doing all these tech brands, and you can start to feel a little intimidated. Don't. We bring so much to the table. We bring so much to the table with our wisdom and our know-how. And I remember thinking, okay, there are some things here that are new for me, that are things that I need to learn. Guess what? I speak English very well. I can read. I can be a student, and I can learn. And
Yes.
there is so much that I've learned, including even putting the deck together. And I can remember when I was putting, years ago, we called it a PowerPoint presentation. Now they're called decks. Big deal. So that's the new term. Get used to it, right?
Yeah.
Make it of your vernacular. But I can't believe how much I have learned. You can learn, and you can pick up new skills, and you can evolve, and then you marry all of the history and all that you have done in your career and in your business. Wow, what a magical time. And I'm excited to present entrepreneurs of all kinds and at every age, that it's never too late to pursue your dreams and go after those big goals and make it happen for yourself.
That's so true. It's very true, because I think that if you have a passion, life changes, our experience changes, and the things, our wants and needs also change. So why not change careers, or, do, as the word that's used quite often is, pivot to something else. And I love the fact that you're not, it's not an age issue. It's really all about taking that leap of faith to move outside your comfort zone to pursue that dream. And that's a really important component, I think, for everyone in our viewing and listening audience to grasp onto, for sure.
Yes, and you cannot be faint. No, it's not for the faint of heart.
Yes.
You have faith in yourself, and you just keep going every day. Sometimes when I would feel down, I would say, well, I'm not where I was where I started. I'm farther along than when I started, and any day can be day one. So if today is day one, well, I've got a lot more going on now than I did 2 years ago. So
yeah, for sure. Now, if you had to share 3 words of advice for our viewing and listening audience who may be thinking about starting a business or taking their company to the next level, what would they be?
My 3 words would be persist. You have to have perseverance, stay in your lane, keep going forward one day at a time. When you have to dig a little deeper, just keep on going. The second word would be focus. Stay focused. It's very easy. I'm a Gemini, and it's like, oh, I see something shiny over here, and maybe I should do this. No, you have to stay focused on what you're doing. My brand is In the Kitchen with Alexandra. My company is Home with Alexandra Inc. And I have lots of ideas of the products and the services that will come from Alexandra Inc. But not until the brand In the Kitchen with Alexandra is successful and doing very well, then I can start looking at things, but maintain that focus. So persistence, focus, and listen.
Those are 3 really great words, because I think that for anyone who's in business, any enterprise leader or entrepreneur, those are the things that really are like the stepping stones that we use towards success. So those are really wonderful words that you shared with our viewing and listening audience, and I thank you for that. Now, how does everybody connect with you? You've given us some wonderful things to think about. You shared your business story. How does our viewing and listening audience connect with you and all the wonderful things that you're doing?
Well, first of all, our website, inthekitchenwithalexandra.com. If you do Alexandra's Pickles or My Pickles, but In the Kitchen with Alexandra.com. My Instagram is My Pickles, MyPikliz. LinkedIn, Alexandra Baker. Speaking with everybody on LinkedIn, and you see information on all that I'm doing, whether it's with the company or here at HSN or anything else that I'm doing. And where else? I think that's about it.
That's perfect. Well, thank you. I really want to thank you for being so honest and open and sharing your entrepreneurial journey with us. And I know that our viewing and listening audience are wishing you every success in your future endeavors. And we'll look out for those new products that you think you're going to be launching in the near future as well. So thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you. My pleasure. This was a lot of fun. And thank you for giving me the time to be able to share my story.
Oh, it's our absolute pleasure. And to you, our viewing and listening audience, I'd like to thank you for joining us today for this special edition of Keeping It Real, with a behind-the-scenes look into business ownership and breaking barriers to success. I'm Trish Tonai, founder and host for the series, and I'd like to extend a special thanks to the team at the Enthuse Foundation for all the work they do to support business innovation and the journey to success. You may visit them on their website, and their contact information will be found in the description portion below. And I'd like to invite you to subscribe to our YouTube channel, Business Mentorship Keeping It Real, and visit our website, shareyourstories.online, where we feature business stories from international entrepreneurs and enterprise leaders while celebrating their great ideas. Thank you for joining us, and we look forward to seeing you next time for another edition of Keeping It Real.